frags. Alexander, the other, of course, on the opposite side to drop 21. We know who to keep our eyes on here for Teal Seam, and I've heard of this roster before. I've seen this roster, particularly Larry Banks. For some reason, is a name that stands out to me. Maybe it's just fun to say. You know, I don't know
Cade
what
as
it
well.
is.
Cade is a very familiar name here, but you mentioned Alexander earlier for the side of Andbox. I mean, everyone remembers Moon Raccoons back in the day, or I hope they do, because Moon Raccoons had a really incredible run way back when, and Alexander was right at the top there. I mean,
Standing ahead.
On that duelist role specifically. So let's take a look what happens here. Straight through elbow. Alexander might get timing if he's unlucky here. Vice already spots out.
Oh, Vice has been spotted out. He's already gone, but still they're worrying about Alexander. Two quick clicks. And he's down for the count. 2v3 though in favor here of the Teal Seam. Oh, there's one player coming in through the smoke. Cooper trying to get things under control. No way! Reloading the clip. They still haven't taken care of him finally. Just down the net. Shots from range will find Aqua, but still 1v2. And there's a player on the off angle to your left. Larry Banks. A very tight little corner there. That's going to give opportunity here for Net to kind of wrap around. Spots one. No way. No shot. Down to the 1v1. Glyph versus Net. Shots are good for Net. The first round for Andbox.
Oh, man. I think if you're Cooper, you're very happy that Net ends up being able to win that last frag and getting the last 2 kills there, because dude, Cooper had, and by the way, Net is spending quite a bit of time shooting bodies. All right, we'll spend a bit of time looking at that. Going back for the 3. Cooper had such a free kill onto, I think it was Aqua. He could have knifed. He could have gotten the knife kill if he wanted to. Somehow just misses every single shot. Kind of unlucky that we caught it. I mean, it's great that we caught it. He's probably unlucky that for Cooper, he's like, oh, I really wish the audience didn't see that. But let's take a look at the just Net cleaning things up. Glyph being the final frag here. And the pistol delivered over to Andbox. And also remember, Alexander, with the 2-piece at the start, really set Andbox up for success.
Now, we also have to remind ourselves of this map being very attacker-heavy. Andbox finding the first round is so key. So insanely key to the success of this half for them. It's on 9-3 half. Cloud9 with the 9. TSM with the 3. See what ends up happening here. Mata on the off angle finds one. Okay, players on the opposite side. Third one's good to go as well. And that was a pistol v pistol.
Now it's just down to a couple members left for the stacking side. I mean, we have Cade with the spike. But entry is going to be difficult. Mata's maybe on for a 4K, possibly even an ace.
One enemy remaining. Gun here.
Fight and conquer there. Surround Mata with 4. Really lining up for a quick blade storm here. I mean, maybe if he did have that ace, they would be looking towards a very quick blade storm on the 3rd round. Really important timing up against Teal Seam, who have now 5 rifles. Mata this entire time also had a dash available, but didn't really need to use it. Would have to kind of dash down the chute, but 3-piece into a cleanup. Easy as you like it.
There's an op now for Mata. I mean, he did save for that. We're going into the gun round for Teal Seam. This is a very expensive purchase, and he's got the heavy armor too. Like, he is jacked up to a whole new level. See how Andbox play this out, because they're already playing aggressively. Oh, the turret doesn't spot one player out. There's the jump key. See if that does get spotted. No, it won't. Mata takes the shot.
Aggression being shown here. Vice as well. Roll over towards elbow. That flash is good though.
Oh, Cooper. Nice angle there to punch right back. Now you see Dynamic just trying to find more frags as they shoot through the cobblestone. 2 players remaining here for Andbox. One of those players has an op straight through the door. Gets taken down to around 60. And now the B site's going to be wide open for Teal Seam to plant.
Mata looks like he wants to save here as well. So it's just down to Net, who is instantly fragged. The stage, Mata going back over towards spawn. I'm going to say he wanted to save. Does he maybe look for an exit here or something? He is an unknown player. Probably doesn't want to risk the operator, especially not on 59 HP. Really expensive gun that he sacrificed a lot of money to get. And that mid aggression, this mid play coming through from Andbox, which kind of gave them a good amount of value on the pistol, ends up being heavily punished there. Cooper finding the opening frag there, and there's a fair few trades. Mata doesn't get an opening shot onto the operator and reveals it early by shooting down the turret. The timing of this operator was going to be pretty decent as well, as Teal Seam finally go for the gun round on number 3. can operate on the defense, especially on a map like Breeze, where operator sightlines is so strong. Probably, on paper, should have been Andbox at least getting a first frag, but no, it'll just be the one survivor.
To take a little bit of a step back and acknowledge how this has been kind of unfolding. A lot of play through elbow here for Teal Team, and even Andbox playing very aggressively. Little crossfire setup from that alleyway that leads into B and around the kind of center of the map. Very different than what we saw earlier. A lot of A play in the previous series. This one, very, very heavy around the mid control. And that's something that's definitely a little bit different, a little bit fresh for us to kind of keep our eyes on.
They're doing that again in terms of, you talk about the mid control. I mean, look at the offensive toxin screen coming through. There's more action happening over towards, or at least info gained over towards elbow as well. That's where they use the Trailblazers. So Teal Team are very interested in making a playthrough, at least mid into towards A. Speaking of, Nets just pushed through aggressively in caves. It's 2 for free.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, don't be drone. No, no, no. Kate closes the door. That is so funny. That is so funny.
Sorry,
okay,
I think I got the wrong address. I'm just gonna go down the road.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, wrong phone number. I'll leave you a voicemail. Dynamic. Flawless round from Andbox. I'm getting a very, very sinking feeling right now that Andbox are very comfortable on this map. Just the way that Net has the ability to push up through cave like that.
Yeah.
That would have never happened in the previous series.
Well,
Never.
That's Simo. That's because in the previous series, Cloud9 had a lot of, membership over towards A. Here, mostly Teal Team have ignored it, and they're gonna ignore it again. They're not really doing too much over towards A. They might want to at least leave a turret behind to check the flanks, alarm bot, something. They're gonna just be grouping up heavily over towards B. To be fair, this is going to be like an eco. It's a hero rifle though, so if anybody's going to pull something magical, it has to be dynamic.
Where is that arrow gonna land? No way, no way, no way, no way. Oh man. When he walked back into it, Cooper still took the shock charge damage. That's impressive, but still, the attacker already starting to funnel on in. They don't really have the best weapons. Great crossfires across the entirety of the B site. That's a quick round for Andbox. We talk about this map being very attacker heavy. If the attackers can really get control of those sites early, particularly the A site, much easier to manage through the control of halls, right? Throw your duelist in there, partner up with a flasher, like a Sky, KO, like a Breach, whoever. You've got lots of control for A, but really, with Teal Team not looking in that direction, not playing around the A site, which now they get to start to put that together, maybe we'll see some rounds come their way.
Could be a lockdown as well. I mean, just as Teal Team looks towards A, Andbox leans also heavily towards A. You just have the one member of Cooper checking over towards elbow because they know that Teal Team have been playing elbow every single round. The fact that there's no one elbow gives so much info for Andbox.
Specifically, Cooper gets a lot of information by being so spread out here in the middle. Seekers do come through. Toxic screen from the attack is kind of denying themselves entry into the site. A quick trade, though. Sky for Sky as Alexander now using the Seekers of his own. Oh, yeah, that's a free kill. One player. Oh, my goodness, Alexander, I missed you. Moon Raccoon effect in full effect as the round goes to Andbox 5-1. My goodness, that's a performance.
And Cooper coming in for the insurance policy as well. I don't even think that Cooper had anything useful to do in this particular round outside of scouting in mid, checking over towards B, especially over towards the elbow there. And this is the kind of, I don't know if conditioning would be the right word to use, but Teal Team have done so much conditioning over towards B, so much utility being placed on B elbow specifically. I mean, there's been a Trailblazer checking almost every single round. And the one round they heavily lean over towards A. I mean, you have Cooper early scouting on through, the rest of Andbox already leaning over towards A, and they're just set up, they're ready to defend.
And now another eco coming in here for Teal Team. Andbox are really starting to balloon with their economy as well. Vice at 8,300, Cooper at 74, Mata at 78. Things are really starting to light up, and for the amount of money this guy's got, he is very comfortable with just walking in. Boom, Blaze, boom, Blaze, just absolutely destroying them one at a time. It's like he's fighting bots right now. One more. Oh my goodness. Aqua manages to find one on the way out. I know it's the eco, but this guy never let go of the W key.
I've seen Mata. Yeah, that's like, they look like a training room in Aim labs for sure. Got a 10-1 scoreline now. It's just economy is so beautiful to look at from the Andbox side. Look, Teal seem need this round. They need it bad because they can't just keep being reset into ecos. Not on the flank here. To be fair, again, it's versus upgraded pistols plus a marshal on OOKERS. And now Dynamic has his own operator coming on through. I wonder if there is going to be a bit of a duel happening out early, especially for mid control, which Teal seem again really wants to try and take control of.
Well, the op is over towards B window. The defensive op has been spotted out by the attack, as we saw. Very aggressive position from Mata, but that's not new. A great opening pick for Teal Team. They find some space in halls, which means the A site can be worked. They stray away.
I think they're not confident about it because they're expecting more people to be on A. Okay, we got the Cypher down, that's one. Vice with this deep positioning as well in mid. Yeah, look at that. Finds the kill. It's a great timing. And the spike, Simo, is just only now moving towards A when Andbox are starting to get set up.
Oh, that was so... They both miss! No way. We even saw the jump come out from Dynamic. Alexander so patient with those
Alexander
shots.
don't miss.
He's so patient. Oh, look out. Nate's coming in from behind. Finds one. That's the op. Jumps down, but there's still going to be Cooper there laying by the stairs. Dynamic, last player with the op, wants to save it. No. Grabs the weapon,
Swapped.
running to B. 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the round's technically still winnable here. No dash, so just has to have knife out. Trust that Andbox aren't going to be there. If you're Andbox right now, you have to consider that either Dynamic to save the operator,
10 seconds
or he's
left.
going towards B.
I don't
And
think he's
Andbox
going to
will
have
be late to the
time.
party.
He might have time.
Oh
no!
Just barely not. Upsetting. The worst part about this is
himself?
now he can't pick up the operator. I think he just didn't. I think he just realized there simply wasn't going to be enough time. He needed about 2 or 3 more seconds, maybe a dash. And that's the thing as well. Looking over towards Util, if Dynamic had the dash available just to get onto site a little bit quicker, would have made all the difference here. And it will be timeout active for the side of Teal Team, where they are trailing by such a high amount of rounds, 1-7 so far. The one round they got was at round 3, which, you know, most teams after they lose pistol and anti-eco are expected to win. So they got that one. Beyond that, all the actual gun rounds that we've seen haven't gone well at all for Teal Team. And beyond that, they've been forced to eco so many times.
Yeah. Man. Tough break. Andbox doing a great job of holding it. It really just is very proactive play, right? Control around mid. Players honestly forcing the issue. We've seen rounds with Net pushing Cave. We've seen Mata constantly using the mid pillar like his own little merry-go-round, just constantly circling it with an op like a shark.
The other player that I think has really stood out is Alexander and how tight his shots have been. Alexander's getting these on-taps. I mean, the patience being shown, the accuracy being shown. Talked about the operators missing each other there. Well, dude, Alexander does not miss. He just gets these frags, dude.
Yeah. He wouldn't have missed that. I mean, he's using the perfect weapon for it. Looking at this hit, though, over towards B. Again, Andbox being very proactive. It does bite them, though. Mata is gone. Hunter's Fury to try to answer back for the sins of a fallen comrade. See if that second Hunter's Fury manages to land. It does not.
Now we shift back over towards mid. A little bit of healing to come through from Teal Team. It's Net that's, I believe, at double doors. I'm pretty sure he's at double doors. It's either that or he's in halls. As a rotation comes through from Teal Team now, shifting heavily over towards A. That's a decent amount of Cypher utility being set up, but Andbox are missing. They're checking mid now. They've realized it's not B, it's not mid. It has to be A. They gotta start moving.
Yeah, with the toxic screen now coming out, and of course the guiding light and all this utility coming through, Net is just trying to really sit tight here. Once that toxic screen goes down, you'll see Dynamic on the opposite side. Recon Bolt's going to make things a little bit challenging, but that Dynamic does not fight for that. Here comes the Viper Spit. Give him a little bit more space to work with. Alexander pops on in. Oh my goodness, and the Viper Spit is gone. Glyph, who was flanking up through walls, has it all to do, and Net just down below, too slow. finds the frag. That was just insane from Andbox.
I mean, again, the shots from Alexander have been on point. And the money for Andbox even more so. We're looking at potential force now from Teal scene. To be fair, Larry was heavily flashed up, but even that aerial headshot from Alexander as well. Andbox come on through, 4 kills, multiple members alive. Teal team, they want at least 1 hero rifle. I was thinking maybe more than that, but Teal team aren't going to fully force into this one. Just put that Vandal in the hands of Dynamic and see what happens. To be fair, the last time Teal team did this and they went over towards B and Dynamic was the entry. He went in first. He loses the rifle almost instantaneously. And the hero rifle gets nothing done.
When does the aggression stop? Yep, 1 player down there, a couple of taps. There's another one, combo meal. You like a drink with that? I'm sure Teal team could use a little break.
Teal team, again, just lose the only sort of play they had into this round. To be fair, the Larry Banks on the long-range Sheriff takes down Cooper. Can't retrieve that gun, though, so Teal team would love to get an upgrade. It's not going to happen. They would also love to retrieve the rifle drop by Dynamic, but it's being watched, as is the spike, so any chance for Teal team to do anything seems to have faded. I don't think they'll even use this ultimate. They don't want to waste it on a round that's probably not going to be winnable.
The fact that they're droning this out, too, is just really gross. They just have such a tight position. That's playing very, very comfortably. Alexander finally has enough time to pinch it from behind. Those taps working out well. Finally, Larry Banks will fall. His heroics come to a halt, 9-1. And this is the last buy round for Teal team. This is it.
Yeah, it'll be all forces from here.
Lockdown, Seekers, Hunter's Fury.
They either win this and get into another buy round, or they lose this in force. You talk about 9 rounds for Andbox. How about 7 of those have come in a row? They got the pistol, the anti-eco. They lose that round 3, as most teams would, and then they get the 7 in a row, and they haven't slowed down since then.
Here.
Andbox could at this stage afford more than 1 operator. They're not going to do that because they want to play aggressively. Marta would be that operator to use it, but they're just going through halls. Marta found a lot of success earlier. This time isn't going to go all the way down, but play around the corner. Oh no, he wants to go.
Oh, they're setting this up for net. We saw this like what, round 4, round 5. They're a little bit cautious, as you can see. Camera's going to give net a little bit of a deeper angle so that he can see a bit more, but drone's going to get a lot of information with who's in halls. Net can just hold this. He can just hold this.
Especially with the camera. Especially with the camera just peeking out first. Unlikely that he'll be kind of randomly taken down. He'll have a 1 and done at least at minimum. But that's information as well. I mean, they know that nothing's happening over towards A, which gives Andbox the ability to just stack heavily on B, and they already have a toxin screen set up on the defense.
This is insane. And they left really, it was the early check in halls that allowed them to make this play. They're like, hey, nobody's here, let's back away. And now, of course, the hit comes in. The attack actually doing a pretty great job, but Vice just spraying through the toxic screen leaves us with the advantage here for Teal team. Alexander hoping to get something done while they're still here, while they're planning. The spike taps are good. And now the Seekers comes alive, 2v2. Net coming in from the opposite side. The flash in to allow Alexander safe passage in. Has another flash at the ready. Hoping to flash 1 player out, but a great angle from Aqua now. Just down to net. And Teal team find themselves a much-needed round.
That was great from Aqua. I mean, he gets flashed up, but I do believe that Alexander flashed himself as well. Understanding there was going to be 1 player at least around the pillar over towards B, but I get the frag and maybe a bit of extra patience would have been good for the side of Andbox there as well, because Net wasn't that far away. If Alexander and Net can work together on that retake, possibly they can take down nicely at least 1 of those kills. Good for Teal team to be able to recover something, because as we kind of mentioned here, if they don't win this round, they would have had to force it the last, and that would have been ugly. Yeah, they have the opportunity to at least make it a possible 3-9, but the Viper's Pit is going to make things just a bit more awkward.
And once again, pushing up through halls. Just an alarm bot there. Teal team have really slowed down their pace considerably. In that round it worked. Alarm bot has been spotted by Vice. See if Glyph goes up the rope. So far, oh, Recon bolt's coming in as well. Will that spot him out? Nope. Glyph manages to get a little bit of an angle on him as well. Trying to just spray through the steel. No, nothing yet.
Smoked out there. Arda will get twice out of danger, so A seems pretty clear. It seems unlikely that Teal seem would really challenge for it. If you see nothing over towards halls, and obviously Viper's Pit is in play, and caves, B has to be the answer here. Andbox have strangely committed so many members over towards A after this clearing halls and clearing main.
Wow. Net just took a face full of lead, but now Alexander hoping to come alive. Nope. He will not.
30 seconds left.
BV4 with the rest of Teal, or rather Andbox, rotating back around A. Knives online here for Dynamic. Last round of regulation. Potential for a 9-3 here as Teal team are in control. Hunter's Fury is available. Can be available for the post-plant situation if that's what they so choose.
Oh, missed.
It's a little bit tough. Aqua now. The Recon bolt. Cooper walking through. Larry Banks on the opposite side, having to flash him out. Flashes himself, but in the process, he's in this tight angle that is working out so well from him, but Andbox cannot divide and conquer, cannot get into the site.
Switching sides.
Weird round coming through from Andbox there. I mean, obviously they had a lot of advanced information over towards A. They saw that obviously Viper's Pit and caves, nothing was going to come through there. They just had to check halls. Nothing was into halls either, and they still kept 3 members heavily committed over towards A. That's going to be 12 rounds locked up here, Simo. A decent recovery from Teal. Simo, we're going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, the second half of Breeze will continue.
Welcome back to a solid recovery from Teal Team near the end of that half. We move now into the pistol with Teal Team on the defense. Talk a little bit about this being definitely a little bit more sided to the attack. We'll see what Andbox can get done here on the second half.
We'll see what side of the map they want to go to as well, because something we noticed, Simo, was that Teal Team was really keen to move over towards B. A lot of util being spent, and straight away as well on this defense. Look at that. They're going to move through caves, going to check through. Could be a timing being found in halls, and that is Net in trouble. Or it might be Weiss instead.
He's got a tough job. Got to hold on to this. But the tripwire sets them back. Now Net has to take the duel, and he's being pinched in, helped out here by Weiss. No, the tailwind gives him safety. Finds the frag onto Dynamic. 4v2 with Larry Banks stuck in halls. Takes the shootout. Now Weiss can also try to fight him mid here. Oh, spots Larry Banks crossing the street. Another player, Aqua.
Last player standing.
Very deep. Already gone. The hands of Weiss.
This is pretty over, Simo, sadly. Larry Banks, the only one alive now for Teal Team. They try to make a play over towards A. It fails. It's only one extra kill to Cooper, but time will run out. Alexander with the final frag, and likes his positioning. And look, there could have been a timing onto Vice, there could have been a timing onto Net. But Net was already halfway through halls. Likes didn't quite reveal himself, tucks away into a corner. And because he hears the footsteps, calls over to, hey, Teal seem are getting aggressive here. Net turns around, and his advanced positioning in the halls ends up being an off angle that is not checked or known by Teal Seam, and Net ends up finding a frag. Vice stays over towards spawn, collects the remainder of the kills, and Teal Seam's aggression over towards A is going to be cleaned up fairly quickly. They're not going to force on this defense either. I guess, you know, you don't really commonly force on defense, but they're so far behind Simo. They lose another pistol. They're down 3-10.
Be another round here, but they're stacked together on this A site. Double drone coming in, checking all the possible angles. We've got Net pushing up through halls as well. He's going to get a very deep wraparound. We'll pay attention to him a little bit later. Mata now pushing forward, finds 2 quick frags. Oh. And he's just going to find them all. Now Net from above. Okay. Didn't even really need the flank. It was there.
Yeah.
Didn't really need it.
So clean from Mata. I mean, just those shots just fade away on the dash as well. And now it's the gun round of all gun rounds for Teal Seam, and Andbox's economy has been so clean, they haven't had to rebuy at all. They walk into a round 3, which normally you don't have great equipment. I mean, they got 2 Vandals, 2 Bulldogs, a Spectre. This is one of the better round 3s that you can possibly get after a pistol and anti-eco. So you still feel like Andbox can definitely take this round with lower equipment.
Have to see what gets done. Early looks over towards B, but the spike, of course, not picked up. They're just looking for those early picks, potentially. That Poison Cloud did not land where it was intended to land. K3K just trying to hide. Ooh. Great angle, as he's got half cover. This is the cobblestone. Another pick is found elsewhere, over towards halls. 4v4 still.
Map is still fairly open here. I mean, Seekers has been found by Alexander, and this is just how much damage and how much frag power he's had early on. Larry Banks is going to be trailblazing, droning over through mid. Sees absolutely nothing. They're getting scared now because they're not too sure what exactly is happening. Andbox have gone fully quiet. Might hear some footsteps over towards A. Once they see this drone, they know it should be A.
Seekers coming through, and no! Dynamic losing a crucial battle. Now, of course, Larry Banks sprayed through the box. Difficult place to hide. 3v2, still a doable scenario here for Teal Seam, but it's going to be challenging. 1 player mid, likely going to go through doors. Last player all the way back in your spawn. K3K has been spotted out already. Needs the support from the Sova as he's just trying to buy some time. Here comes Aqua. There's going to be the shot from the side. Andbox, they're slowly falling apart. Just down to Alexander, and he's good for these 1v1. Flash comes through. Recon bolt to follow up. He's trying to deal with it first. And Aqua knows exactly where he's located. Crisp shots as Teal Seam win the gun round.
Yeah, that's like the second gun round that Aqua's really been the player to clutch on through. I remember specifically one over towards the B side when he kind of had the defense. And it might have been versus Alexander as well, and they were both flash, and Aqua wins that. So that's the second 1v1 he gets. This is Alexander shutting him down as well. Looking like it could have been a decent round there. It's very damaging for both sides, also for the side of Teal Seam, obviously. Brilliant kills being found, and the 3-piece to make sure that Teal Seam is still competitive here. They're still in. They haven't given away 12 to Andbox just yet.
Okay, let's get set up.
Very expensive round though, Avril. Very, very expensive. The buy here for Teal Seam is not going to be great.
My camera is destroyed.
There's an op. Hands here from Mata. Oh, the jump peak there. Very dangerous for Aqua, but revives.
Lots of teammates nearby, and it's non-committal for Andbox. Either they have spikes in the middle there, 2 members lurking over towards elbow. Patience being shown just to try and get an opening frag. And while the position of the line is being held by Mata, you can just see that Net wanted to walk up, got punished by Aqua actually. So decent by Teal Seam.
Yeah, still spike need to be retrieved. I wonder if Andbox is trying to win this based off of frags alone, looking for picks, looking for space. They've got the space, but kind of at what cost? They've already lost a player. Nano Swarms are going to cook up Vice a little bit. Now he's in a really tough spot. Flash to come through here from Larry Banks. They can really swing on Vice here, and they do so.
Seekers coming here through, waiting for the door to open, waiting for an opportunity here. Mata finds a frag, 3 life for Teal Team. They can still do this coming
30
in.
seconds left.
Spike has not been planted. Less than 30 seconds here, Simo, as the toxin screen, trying to buy some cover.
And you can see Teal Team very close on the opposite side of this cobblestone here, waiting for the peek on through. Close shot there, and unfortunately can't convert onto another. Now it's just Cooper trying to hold on, doesn't have a lot of time. Starting the plan, of course, Dynamic just trying to bait things out. Oh my goodness, he actually got it off. Now 1v2. He can definitely play this carefully around the pillar, waiting for K3K, knows where one is, trying to play for Dynamic, knows that he crossed, but the shots are good. And Teal Team stay alive for another round.
And they'll be able to pick up the operator here as well for the defense. I'm sure they'll just, you know, get this defuse. I don't think they've managed to pick it up, so... Couple rifles. Yeah, there it is. That was the operator being in the hands of Dynamic, which will make the next defense that much better, especially now that Andbox moving over towards pistols. I don't even know. Have Andbox been forced to eco at all? They haven't. I think this is their first eco of the entire match.
I think you might be right.
Last player
I think
standing.
you might be right. They had such a good economy last half. Teal Team slowly starting to come alive. Andbox just need 2. So Teal Team still have a lot of work to do. Wait, no way he gets this. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Finds Vice.
Aqua's really woken up here on the defense for this half. I mean, this guy has been holding strong for Teal Team, has been gifted over so many opening picks. All right, they do lose 2 here, which is upsetting. Teal Team still have
Oh my goodness.
Mata's getting so much work done.
No way! Deep lurk from Cooper. Now K3K has got to deal with it, but it's a 1v2, and the Blade Storm has already been put to work by Mata. He's already moved up close. Seekers popped here from Alexander to give them some information. Oh, he drops down. This is going to be a good position. But he runs away. Saves the weapon. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. I don't think you can afford to save it. You cannot afford to save. You don't have enough rounds. You simply don't have the rounds. If you save, you guaranteed give Andbox 12 here. You have to play for this round if you're Teal Team. There's no shot that you can actually go for the save. And worst of all, Simo, they don't actually manage to get the save because the gun's been taken away. A thrifty from Andbox into the potential last round of this entire map now in this series on match point that Andbox has found a final timeout will be called here. And Teal Team really need a miracle, honestly.
Yeah.
They need to pull together so many rounds to even think about a comeback. And I think, realistically speaking, they needed to make that last play. Sure, it's unlikely that Cade was going to be able to make that 1v2 clutch considering where Mata was. Mata wasn't completely unspotted. Mata would have been able to trade. Mata probably would have just had the free kill no matter what, but going for the save just philosophically there, guaranteeing that Andbox was going to get 12, I just think that's the wrong call.
Wow. I was like almost ready to write that round off. You know, Aqua in a good position. Net and Mata coming up so big. And now, of course, the timeout we just had from Teal Team. Hoping to try to come back together. Reset, recalibrate. Andbox are going to be indefinitely on match point for 7 more rounds. Teal Team can help it. Blade Storm popped here for Dynamic. Doesn't really have the weaponry, or maybe have no weaponry, I think.
Here.
They actually wrap around through main. Depends if they have the confidence to do so. They'll find a timing. Obviously, they have no idea where the defense, the attacking side is. Find out soon here. There could be contact being found now.
Wow. But behind, that's spiked down, and they actually have a visual on it. See Dynamic coming in from behind from the window.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that is just disgusting. Finally, it's shut down. 2v3, Mata, and of course, Net so far away from the rest of the pack. Larry Banks in a really tight position. All of that work through mid pays off dividends for Teal Team.
And they take a gamble as well because they have no information. They don't know if anybody's over towards A that could potentially have an angle on them. They want to walk through main and mid and have this flank going over towards B. There is a real shot that goes extremely poorly for Teal Team, but they trust it, they gamble it, they roll the dice, they have to take risks, Sigma. When you're this far behind, you have to win 7 in a row. You gotta make some risky plays to find these miracle rounds, because otherwise you're just giving Andbox way too much respect, way too much space. Andbox forced to path by here. That's just a big opportunity for Teal Team to maybe catch up.
Absolutely, Viper spit down. The only ultimate available here for Teal Team, and see Andbox is just going to rush their way in through B. Mata's already in, but the rest of the team can't quite walk through a Viper's pit and a Nano Swarm. That's going to be the most challenging bit. Mata peeks out the pit, and of course they're still stalling, not letting them through. Player's already out on the opposite. Oh no, Cooper's just laying in wait here. Finds the frag though, and that's actually pit down. That might be an advantage for the time being, but of course they don't really have the best weapons to really deal with that. Marshall getting shots back. Shockstar coming through to push him around. Really bullying Glyph here. Here comes the final swing. Jumping right through. Finds one. A quick trade. And Cooper, I think he found himself an upgrade. 3v3.
He did.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, he's managed to get the Viper's Pit as well. He got that kill onto Cade, which disrupted the defensive Viper's Pit. No tags for Vice so far. Few members alive for Teal Team now in this 3v3, but they have to fight into a Viper's Pit. The flank coming through as well from Aqua could be what makes or breaks.
Oh, tripwire. Is that a tripwire? I can't tell. That just might be a crack in the wall. He jumps right over it, but Net's got the frag. One player on the opposite side of this pit. Where does Dynamic go? Net just swaps position through the Cloudburst. Sheriff's not going to really find the money, but still, you have to go through the pit. And Cooper's in there. Operator picked up. Cooper hears that weapon swap over. Now walks on through. It's a thrifty. It's a round win.